Hey guys, another peer review video here. This one is on a content analysis and recommendation plan for Athleta, which is a female athletic performance brand of performance line of clothing. Here we have James Miller doing what I tell you guys to do in the PQP model, and that is starting his review process with praise. As you see here, he says, this is a wonderful first paragraph. I wouldn't change a thing, which it is. So a little bit of praise there. Great way to start a review session. Get some positive momentum generated. Get the person that's reading your reviews, just like reading a paper, right? Generate positive momentum to kind of rope them in. Mary Foley also praises and reiterates what James said, saying she loves that first paragraph. But she wants to she wants to polish it up a little bit by maybe having a little bit better transition from the introduction to the more analytical section here that just sort of abruptly starts. So she's asking, by way of polishing, is there any way to smooth the transition between the first and second paragraph? Mary's basically saying, can you polish the structure and the coherence of these two paragraphs so that they fit better together? Structurally, organizationally, they're kind of clashing here in this space here, right? So you're going straight from this statement where you're talking generally and by way of an introduction of the bold, empowering statement is one that communicates a message of female strength and solidarity. And then you abruptly, not you, but Jennifer Steiger, abruptly goes into her analysis, her analytical portion of her paper. Over the last 3 weeks, I evaluated Athleta's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram accounts. I also reviewed the Chai blog, which is on their featured website. Okay, so Mary's just asking her to consider polishing this up a little bit, revising this based on how it's structured and how these sentences fit together. Further down, we have more praise by Mary Foley, and then we get a suggestion. So this is revision by way of suggestion. So she's polishing and she's offering advice on the contents of the video clips. Like, okay, why don't you include these video clips here? Perhaps summarize them or tell us why they matter. So this is her way of questioning by way of expansion. So in your PQP handout, one of the categories is expansion, where you're asking for more information just to make, not based on clarity. It's not a point of clarity. It's not like we need these clips to cognitively understand a component of the presentation here, but simply by way of example. So elaborate by way of example. So she's just saying, hey, where are these clips? I was just kind of wondering as I was going through there. I think that would be a good way of exemplifying what these reels and how powerful they can be, is to give an example. Here, James Miller questions with the purpose. Are you saying with the purpose? Are you saying that the tweet is specifically purposeful in this regard? So he's confused on how she's using the word purpose in relation to the hashtags being tweeted to build a community of followers. So he's asking for clarity here. So this is questioning, again, questioning for the purpose of clarity. Unlike this question here, where it's just saying, hey, I'm kind of wondering, I'm questioning this, you might want examples here. He's actually questioning a point of clarity where he just literally doesn't know what she's talking about at that point. Suggesting using grammar. I think James is kind of on the wrong track here. It's fine to do this, but we're not really supposed to be talking about punctuation and colons and semicolons. I noticed that was the case in the last paper as well. He also mentioned a semicolon here. James, if you're out there, this is simply not important. We're looking for more global aspects. If you guys are thinking of doing this in your peer review papers, please don't. And I would tell James the same thing if he's listening to this. Don't do that. We're looking for more global scale revision here, bigger picture. We're not looking at editing and doing fine tooth comb analysis here. We're just kind of looking for the general broader points. So here, Mary Foley asked a question. She just, perhaps this is more so, I wonder if they decide to post just as regularly on Twitter if they would reach a larger audience. Makes me wonder. So she's kind of reading her comments and her research here and kind of raising this question. Hey, makes me wonder. You might want to expand on this or look into this. Because if I'm asking this question, if I'm wondering something, perhaps that's something that all of your readers, or at least one other reader out there, might be asking. Again, Mary Foley, which did a great job of her peer review here, is asking why. So you talk about, especially on Twitter, this kind of reminds me of the comment I made on our last video where I was questioning Brianna Gibson. Why? Why would they do this for their company and product? Elaborate. So again, she's questioning by way of elaboration. Elaborate your reasoning and discuss what audience they could possibly reach by doing so. So she's saying, hey, this is a great suggestion. This is a good start, but you need to elaborate more. This one line is just not sufficient. We need more information here. Then she follows that up with praise. James Miller with a little bit of praise. Praise again. Mary Foley offers a formatting through Microsoft Word or Google Docs suggestion. James Miller with a good comment there on the two different ways of looking at the analysis. And this is always really a good thing. And this was mentioned in the PQP as well as, I believe, the ASU Crash Course videos, is praise is always good if it's in alignment with what the professor is looking for. So James just happens to feel like he's got a pretty firm grasp on what Dr. Stevenson is looking for, or maybe he had a conversation or they got on a call together and it was a point where he was really clear on this is what she's looking for. So always making suggestions related to, hey, this is what the instructor wants, this is what the professor wants, you might want to do this. That's always helpful. Alright, so just another brief video here where you guys can look at peer review, what to do, what not to do. We're looking for a global, big picture, how sentences and paragraphs fit together organizationally and structurally, and how they're effective in communicating ideas. Not so much interested in nitpicking grammar and punctuation at this point. Have fun out there and good luck with your peer reviews.